Hi guys, good morning. I know it's been a very long time since you've actually seen my face move. I was able to erase like 1,000,001 pictures, so I have a little bit of space. I don't know how much space I have on this phone, and I don't know how much time I can record. So I'm trying to quickly, urgently get this story out. I have an issue that is going on. It is very detrimental. Like, if you have been following me for I came back on YouTube about this time last year. So now the last year, if you have been following me for this last year, then you know that I'm trying to help my husband get home. My husband, we believe, he's wrongfully convicted, and I'm pleading to please. It's very detrimental that he gets home very soon. I need this ball to roll now. I need everyone to push with me now. There's no more time to waste. And the thing is, a big issue, huge issue happened this past weekend, this past Sunday, and it's very detrimental. They took my visit. I can no longer visit Marcello, and they told me it's indefinite. They are doing some very underhanded things, and they took our visit. I was the one that was going to see him. Marcello didn't really receive too many other visitors. He didn't receive too many other visitors. So now he has no one else to drive way out into the boondocks, risk their lives, going into that dungeon to visit him. I need help now. As soon as I can explain more about that situation, I will, but that is an ongoing investigation right now. And I will get to that as soon as possible, but it is detrimental that I get my husband out now. I need his story out, and I need him free. I feel like, and I had just said that not too long ago. This is supposed to be the happiest time of my life. I just celebrated my graduation just last week. I think it was last week, the week before.
Miss Tequila Dixon.
I wanted to make a video about it, but last week I was asked to be a guest speaker, and I was going to tell our story and the story of fighting with my husband, who's wrongfully convicted, and how I was able to keep our family together through prison visits. Through visits, we raised our daughter from 9 months to of age 19 now, and it was only we were only able to do that through prison visits. That's how important a visit is to a family. A visit to a family is important. Without them, you do not have a family tie. You have an expensive phone call that eventually I can't afford. And you have letters. That is all you have without visitation. And for my husband to still have 21 more years in prison, this is not going to work for me to not be able to visit him. Nobody else makes that ride up that road. He will be left alone. And what they did was not correct. So as soon as possible, I will get into that story. I just cannot, because it's still open right now. But so I went from graduation, happy time, like spending time with my family and celebrating. I finally accomplished something, like finally accomplished. And I wanted to, just previous to going to visit him, my heart was broken again. Just 2 weeks ago, I finally schedule some time to go and see my husband. I have been wanting to see him, but when you get into the hustle and bustle and this and that, working constantly on YouTube, I'm trying to grind and get his story forward. And I got a million and one things going on with the apartment. I got things going on. This thing, it's like everything at once in life is coming at you. My health, I have my health going down, my body going down. I can't hardly work. It's a lot, and it's weighing on me, weighing. So I finally cleared off my schedule and made time to go see my husband. He is way almost on the border of Alabama, from where we are to Alabama. He is far. He's still in Florida, but he's on the edge of Alabama. So I drive way up there by myself, hardly any sleep. Drive all the way there. I'm almost there, 4 hours up the road, 4 hours and something. And I get a call from him saying that they locked down his unit. His unit's on quarantine. And I'm like, are you for real? Like, it happened while I'm driving, and I'm almost there. Well, this sucks. I'm almost there and get a call saying just turn back around. They're on lockdown. Can't even visit. And I'm so tired. I left in the wee hours of the morning. Now I gotta try to make it back home. Well, almost there, but just got a call not too long ago saying that they canceled visitation. They're on lockdown. Well, not lockdown, but quarantine. Oh my gosh, I done drove this far. Now I have to pull over to a rest station. I am so exhausted. My luck. I cried my eyes out, and I had to get in my car. Well, I was already in my car. I had just gassed up to make the rest of the hour up there. And I had to turn around and go back home. So I'll show you the video I recorded 2 weeks ago. And then you can see how hopeless this feels. It feels like within an instant, all our ties, our communication together can be gone. Well, just pulling back up, back home. I left at 1:30 this morning. Got almost to Vizzo when I got the call to just turn around. 4 hours back home. So it is like, what? It's 11:30. So what is that? About a 9 to 10 hour drive. I did have to stop at a rest area and take a small nap. I'll go more into the feelings about this whenever I edit this video. But yeah, it just really lets you know that everything is out of your hands. None of this is in my control. And it also lets you know how fragile this relationship is. Like, being with somebody that's in prison is so fragile, because at any moment they can, keep you apart, pull you apart, I know they're doing what's best, but I would just rather him be home and out of there. That way, I don't know. It's like a long distance relationship, but the worst kind you can have, honestly. The worst type of long distance relationship you can have, with sometimes it even feels like it's an online relationship. You know how you meet somebody online but you don't have them in person? That's what it more so, I think, would feel like sometimes, especially with him being this far away from the house, the furthest he has ever been in 19 years. It feels more like because I guess, we haven't done the video visitation. He doesn't want to do that because he doesn't want to pay for visitation, which we shouldn't have to, but I guess that's the game, you know. But I guess we're gonna be in a virtual relationship soon. If he can't get home, our relationship's gonna be virtual. I'm gonna have a virtual husband that I can look at on a tablet or wow. I really wish things would just want them free. All right, guys, whatever. I don't even think I want to go to sleep. I'm tired, but I don't want to go to sleep now. I feel just, I wanted to cry. And when he did call me back, it was like, I tried to hold it in. I don't cry, but you know what? And he's like, you can't cry. You can't cry because that makes me. So I had to choke it up, suck it back in. But yeah, that's a rough one. I was, thank God, able to get my money back from my room that I had for the night. I was able to get that back. And I don't know. I guess I just wasted $60 of gas money there and back. But I mean, I guess it always can be worse. I could have got all the way there and then got word, or I don't know. Or imagine if I had went in and that happened. Yeah, so I don't know. I just really wish something would just bring him out of there. Some action, some movement, some. And I think I honestly feel like it's that time. I really do. This is the first time that I have been in agreement with him that he's coming home. Before, he always said, oh, I'm coming home. And I'm like, yeah, okay, you're coming home. Yeah, 2042, you're coming home. That's when the year that the latest Terminator came back from the year 2042. I wish he had brought Marcello with her. But, yeah, so be like, yeah, he's coming home. But this is when I really felt it. Like, the way the world is moving, the way things are changing so rapidly, if he's not physically home soon with me, I don't know. How do you continue with this shaky? And I'm not saying I'm leaving him. I'm not. I feel like we're being pulled apart. If anybody else, I don't know how many prison wives I do have that watch my channel, or loved one, people that have family members in prison. How do you feel about this? Like, is this like really like a really trying, testing time, which I know is testing and trying for everyone, but it's almost compounded when you're dealing with this prison system, and then the system itself is not fair at all. It's not even a little bit fair. And they're the forgotten, they're the throwaways, they're the ones that, they shouldn't have did what they did. I'm sarcastically saying that. I don't believe that. I'm sarcastically saying that because those are the things that are told to me about my loved one. And being in all these communities, these are the things that other people hear about their loved ones. So almost like, oh, you shouldn't care what happens to them because they shouldn't have did what they did. But you know what? All right, well, hand going numb, so I gotta end this video. All right. I'm surprised I even had space enough. I haven't been able to record a video in months, since like Vlogmas. No, a little bit after Vlogmas. All right, guys. It's your girl Cadillac. It was like within an instant, all our ties, our communication together can be gone. It could be gone. So I composed myself. I pulled it back together, and I kept on fighting, and I started preparing for this presentation. I'm like, no, my husband got to come home. My husband got to come home. And just this Sunday, again, no sleep. I couldn't sleep. I had discovered we just submitted some work. We're trying to submit. We're in the middle of that, trying to submit his case to a integrity unit, conviction integrity unit, because his case needs to be opened up and looked at. Somebody needs to look at this case. It's not sound. It has too many holes in it. So we're in the middle of process trying to get that in, and I found a video about the people that were doing that, and I was so excited I couldn't sleep. I get an hour and a half, 2 hours of sleep on and off, and finally it's time to get on the road for visitation. 2 a.m. I get up, I get my shower. I was going to vlog for you guys because I was so excited that I'm going to go get to see him. I do have one visitation vlog from a couple months ago, but I never edited it, so I never got it up on YouTube. So I was like, at least I could, record a little bit. And this was the worst day of my life. This time I make it to visitation. I make it all the way up the road on the edge of Alabama by myself. No sleep. I want to see my husband. I finally get to see you after 2 weeks of being... This is crazy. I finally get to see you. And I didn't believe it until I couldn't believe I would see him until I seen him. I get processed into visitation. I get out my car, show my ID. They check me in. They give you the rundown about the questions. Have you been around anybody that this, and that? They give you them questions. They give you a mask. You go inside. They have you take off your shoes. I take out my shoes. I don't bring anything, just my ID and my key. I come in. I'm processed in. I'm pat down. I'm searched. I go inside visitation, give them my paper. I'm here to see my husband. Oh my God, my husband is about to come out. I finally get to see you after all of this. He comes through those doors. He comes out. It's a smile on my face. I cannot believe I see him. I actually see him with my literal eyes. I see him. And he comes out and he asks the lady, the guard there, can I give her a hug? I give him a hug. We hugged. I didn't know that was my last hug from him. We hugged. We sit down for one moment. And he's like, are you doing okay? And I'm like, I don't know. This is too much. I just need you to be home with me. It's so much out here going on. My life seems like it's crashing and burning. I need you here. And then I'm like, okay, but I'm just going to enjoy you being here. This is only like maybe 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And I start to explain to him about the conviction integrity unit. And I'm like, you might have a chance. Yeah, you might have a chance with this. Have you started working on the paperwork? Please give me all those answers, like right away, quickly, so I can submit them. Because the lady was saying that they have so many people that they are trying to help that she has to prioritize it. So she's like, okay, if you're on the row, then we're going to see you first because it's more detrimental. But if you have a large amount of time, a long sentence, we're going to see you second, after those row inmates. I'm sorry, not inmate. Forget that word. I don't even know where that came from. Incarcerated individuals. So we're like, she says we're going to see them first, and then we're going to consider the cases with long time individuals, because their lives can be, their lives depend on this. So I'm like, Marcello, this might be it. This might be it. And 5 minutes, I think our visit was 7 minutes. And I'm called out by a CO. I did not know or understand what they were going to do next. And believe me, I want to tell you the whole thing, because this is not right. But I have to go through the investigation part and find out who I need to talk to and get my guidance first, and we need to fight that situation first. Still under investigation, and then I will tell you guys. But in the end, when it was all said and done, a male CO, they call them the white shirts, he was like, I don't know if you're seeing your father or your husband or whoever you're seeing, but your visitation is gone indefinitely. How long does he have? No, first, before he says that, how long does he have? I said 22 more years. My math was off. He has like 21 more years or something like that. I said 22 more years. He said, oh, 2 years? I said 22 more years. He's like, oh, well, your visits are gone indefinitely, and that's all over the state of Florida. He did that with a smile. A smile. And I know he went home and he hugged his family, kissed his family, and he felt so good about what he did. But he broke our family up even more. We've been broken for 20 years, and he found a way to break us even further. So it is detrimental now. I have so many people that say they want to help, they care, they just need to know what they can do. Now, I'm going to present to you Marcello Jackson's case. And I forgot to let you know that it's a presentation that I was preparing, and I went overboard like usual. If you know me, you know I go overboard. I do too much. I need to pull it on back. I made a 177 page slideshow explaining everything about his case, because I need it out. I need people to know the things that don't line up, that don't make no sense. And 10 minutes before I was about to present it, I got an email that it was canceled. Yeah, and it crushed me last week. I was crushed. That's why I haven't been putting out any YouTube videos. I haven't been really on Facebook. I haven't been doing anything. I just went from graduation to, so I thought it couldn't get any worse, and the next day it gets worse. So it makes me start thinking, well, I thought that was worse, but it got worse. And then it makes me think, oh, I think this is worse, but is more worse to come? That's how I feel, like more worse is to come. I need help now. When they told us that our visits were terminated indefinitely, I know our relationship cannot stand that. It's no way. For us to, even with the visits, our relationship suffered and barely made it 20 years down this road. 20 years down this road. But without them, so I'm like, I have to let him go. And it's so sad because he's innocent and he doesn't have anybody in his corner, really, but me. He has some people doing a little bit of stuff. I've devoted my life to obtaining freedom for him. So he don't have another Keita Dixon in his corner. And now I'm taken away. So I was like, I have to leave him. As much as I hate it, I have to leave him. As much as it kills me, I have to leave him for me to be able to salvage whatever part of my life I have left. I have to leave my heart. We were in the process and paperwork of getting married. I didn't release that to anybody. I thought that, once it happened, I would reveal it later. We were getting married. That's gone. We say we're husband and wife. I see him as my husband. I am his wife. I am loyal to him. But we never made it official because I always felt like I wanted him to be free before I took that vow with him. The vow's already been taken, but before we signed the paperwork, I wanted him to be free. But the worse the world, you see this world around us, do you see what's happening? You see all the things going on. It's too much going on. I don't know how long I can wait for that. And I didn't want that to pass us by. We're bonded. So I agreed. We finna take that step. We about to do this. We was approved. Did the application, was approved, everything. We were just waiting on a date. Perfect timing, right? So these last few days have been a mess. An entire mess. And I gave up. I mean, completely, for real. I told him I'm still going to try to fight for you, but we can't. What can we do? And I went to sleep last night. My mind was completely gone because I did verify with some people, and they're like, you can never really prove what happened. Like, you could prove if people follow the procedures and the ways that you're supposed to do things, you could. But you have a lot of coverage. This person does something, this person covers for them. This person does something, this person covers for them. You call and complain, you email and complain, they retaliate against your loved one. So you don't move too far. You don't get too far with it. So it's really what they say go. It's really, that's what it is, whether wrong or right. And that's with the justice system, legal system, inside prison. It's how it is. And we always just have to just choke it up, let it go, move forward, go on, move on with your life. Just take what I give you and just move on. Keep it moving. And I'm tired of keeping it moving. I'm tired of taking it. But I don't have a voice. I don't have a loud enough voice. So I can't make any changes. So I gave up. Yesterday I got up, did some calls, some emailing, trying to figure out what I need to do, what I should do, if anybody's been in this position. And that's when I got overwhelmed I just said, I'm just going to sleep. I've dealt with depression for years. And since 2009, I prayed that I would never go back into depression. And yesterday I was like, you know what? I'm not going to fight it this time. I suffered from severe depression since childhood, and I said, I'm not going to fight it this time. I'm literally in my life going to sleep and going to eat and just exist until my last day on earth. Then that's what I'm honestly telling you what I said to myself. All this trying for dreams and trying for his freedom, that's over with. I'm done. eat, sleep, and just breathe. That's it. And when I went to sleep last night, I ended up having to get from the confines of where I was. I had my little nephew. He's so lively, and he's what got me out that bed. He called me, "Oh, my auntie." And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to lay here depressed. And he's like, "No, auntie, can you take me to Walmart? Get me a little toy car." And I'm like, oh, you have a million toy cars. Like, do we have to get you a toy car? So I get up, but that's what got me out the bed. My little nephew. And then my cousin, he called me, "Hey, let's get us something to eat. I'm a cook." He's the blind chef. He's like, "I'm gonna cook for you and we gonna go shopping." I went to sleep late because I've been uploading these slides to Facebook because I'm like, I gotta at least do something with it. I go back and forth. I'm like, I want to just delete my Facebook. It's pointless. My Facebook is to be on there to try to bring attention to my husband's case. That was the sole purpose of my Facebook in the first place. I don't even like social media like that. I have to network a little bit because I am an artist and a graphic designer, but my sole purpose really on Facebook was to promote and try to push his case. And I went through, should I delete it? Just push delete. But that's years of work, of artwork, of hard work, of grinding, of connections to people I've met over the years. And the YouTube, I so want to delete YouTube because I feel like I make my videos for no reason, but I haven't taken those steps yet. So I go to sleep. And I don't really dream because I don't sleep long enough to dream. Y'all already know if you've been following me, my life is way too much. It's too much going on. I'm here, I'm there, I'm all over. And I'm like, so I'm sleeping and I don't know if I'm dreaming or if I'm just, are they my thoughts?